Hi, my name is Lily. I'm leading the SEO team at VertoDigital, and I'm here with my colleague Nico, and we will be discussing AI search audits and our approach with it.
I'm glad to assist Lily in presenting a framework that shows how AI visibility can be measured and what to focus on more than anything.
So the main point is we've been doing quite a few AI search audits in the beginning of the year, and we gathered enough information, enough data to be able to spot patterns and build a framework that help us not just go through the normal AI search audit, like this is what the technical side looks like, this is what the content side looks like, this is the outreach opportunities, etc., but also focus on a couple of, I call them lenses, because it's like different lenses you put to be able to see what the status of the visibility is. So we focus on a couple of on 7 lenses of the visibility in the LLMs that are the different component in AI search in comparison to the traditional results and visibility on Google.
Because in Google is much simpler. You see impressions, clicks, keyword rankings. Yep. It's very straightforward. You have the right tools. Whereas with the LLMs, still the tools are not mature enough. The mechanisms with which they rank and cite sites are not very clear. So you need indeed more broader perspective, different aspects, different points of view to paint a picture for a client and to be able to base a strategy upon that information.
100%. It's a new paradigm, because in traditional search, what we have, like obviously as a lens, we have the search intent, right. We have this how engaged is the user with the searcher with the results. Like we measure CTR, we measure that kind of things. But in AI search, which includes the AI overviews, we have different angles to look at the results, because the experience and the expectations of the user are different. For example, the most obvious one is in the traditional search, you have the full length of 10 plus results that the user is supposed to fumble through, while in AI search, you have one answer, but this might be a continuous conversation. It could be 7, 8 or more back and forth questions that the user is asking before they go through, they reach the end point and what they try to say. So about the lenses, there are a couple of things that we measure besides the obvious technical content outreach stuff that we do with every normal audit. Obviously, in AI search, the first one is the inclusion itself. Right. It corresponds to the indexation in the traditional Google results, what we've known until recently. Inclusion is something that is easily measured with any of the AI analytics tools that are out there, and obviously manually for a couple of prompts, you can go and check on any LLM on the Google AI overviews. Mm-hmm. The next one is answer presence, which means is your brand actually in the answer, or your product or any of your branded appearances in the answer. It corresponds to the branded versus non-branded inclusion. Like answer presence is if you're included, like if you type in and search for your brand, you're obviously there. So right. Inclusion confirmed. But about answer presence, we check if when someone is typing questions related or prompts related to your product or services or the brand itself or even the management, are those people actually included? Right. Which corresponds to the non-branded searches.
Okay.
And then is the next one, which everybody gets a little bit excited about this one. This is accuracy. Everybody loves this one. Yeah, this is obviously something that you definitely need to measure and make sure of. for all the branded searches, you can obviously get a list from SEMrush, or you can get a list from the Google Search Console, type in a couple of branded appearances and check on an LLM. When you're prompting that, what appears? Is it actually accurate?
Is it your company or something that sounds like your company, but it's another one?
Yeah. And also, is it something that is recent? For example, that person from the leadership that somebody is prompting, is the result about Tom Smith actually that he is now your VP of digital marketing, or is a job Tom had like 10 years ago?
Right, because some of the models have data that they were trained 3 years ago, right? And maybe they have stuck with older data about the company. That happens.
I checked that on myself, by the way.
What's your life story according to the LLMs right now?
It's circa 2009, so
okay,
or 2010, something like that.
Yeah.
So this is about accuracy. Accuracy is very important for obvious reasons to check. And here it's important not just to check whether you're there or not there and if it's accurate, but actually what are the sources that the model is pulling through to get that information about you. And if needed, then you need to make a huge list and send it over to PR or to the content marketing team or to somebody else who can update those.
Yeah. How do you have any idea how quickly this could be updated in LLM? If you submit brand new information across...
Have you done backlink campaigns?
Yeah, it takes
that
a while.
Fast. It depends on what the sources are. If it's some official sources with editorial that you can get in touch with, obviously pretty fast. But if it's some blog post from 10 years ago, obviously you won't have that luck. So next one, which is the fourth one, it's tone and sentiment. Actually, there are a couple of tools now that measure the tone and sentiment that you can use, not just yours, obviously, but same for competitors. The beauty of those tools that are on the market right now is that they can provide the same level of detail and information, not just for yourself, but for your whole marketplace.
Right.
Some of them, like obviously everything is credit based, so you cannot go out and check like hundreds and thousands of pages of websites, but you can get a pretty good picture how visible you are in comparison to your competitors, and also what is the tone and sentiment of the results that appear for you and for your competitors as well.
And in LLM models and the tools that we are using, it's a little bit more granular as well, right? Because it's based on the prompts that we give. It's not just the whole brand. It's not the entire website. It's the specific prompts we are measuring. So it's more granular, and it can surface even competitors you're not really aware of that are actually there competing.
I have that prediction. That nobody has the whole picture, like what are the actual prompts people are using. So to check brand's visibility, usually the brand or we pick up a set of 10, 20, 50, 100 prompts that we assume the ICP, the main personas are searching with. But the point is, I have this prognosis that the moment the LLMs start their advertising programs, they will make sure that the advertisers actually have access to enough data to get the confidence what they are advertising for.
Right, because they need to know what is now pay-per-click is based on keywords. So in these models probably will be based on a little bit longer queries, but you should know what I'm paying for, right? I want to be position number one or on top of the results rather for this specific. It makes a lot of sense, and it's there is a lot of rumors that this is coming, and it's kind of imminent in AI mode and ChatGPT as well, because they're very unsustainable right now, especially ChatGPT in terms of operational costs. So they need to generate more income.
None of them
ads are coming
can be sustainable with that level of usage. Okay, so about tone and sentiment, right now it's important to check those out. There are tools that are doing that work for you. Again, make sure that the models are pulling the right sources. And if there is something that your PR team need to address, you will have the chance to get that information.
Tone and sentiment, they represent how you're perceived negatively, positively, how people or sites are talking about your brand, essentially.
Yeah. Also, I think it's a good idea to put in the list a couple of prompts that help check whether the LLM models get the right differentiation about your brand in comparison to your competitors. Because it could be easy for them, like in summarizing the answers, to kind of dilute the results, and actually your differentiators get dropped in the process. So this is important to understand. Obviously, you need to get a couple of exemplary prompts that are more mid to bottom of funnel, like I have this and this problem, recommend me who I should choose, like vendor A versus B, C, or D, something like that. So that you understand how the model actually gets that type of information about your brand and how it compares you to others, and if your differentiators remain or they get cleared out.
In the query fan out,
Yeah. And again, similar to accuracy, it's important to measure trust and credibility. How strong are your signals of expertise? When the answers are summarized or built for your brand, are these answers actually use data, names, maybe client list or something else that showcase your credibility signals and build you like a trusted and credible brand, or this get completely dropped out? Because if the models do not pick up your trust and credibility signals and visualize them, then you can appear with your name and everything and against competitors or even on your own. But if you do not signal trust, you won't get the click, the conversion, the sale.
How accurate is it to ask, say, ChatGPT, what's the sentiment of this brand compared, just direct question, like
you
to
can
assess.
always ask.
And how relevant is it to the assessment of client presence? Because it can tell you in general, your brand is more visible, but when you drill down towards specific queries, specific products or services, maybe things dilute. There is not direct correlation, or is there?
Currently, all the audits we make are on a small set of 10 to 20 prompts, which makes them easy for us to do that work manually. What I would do, I would ask a couple of LLMs. Different model perspective helps, the hallucination especially. But also, I would keep things manual for some time. Like I would keep the manual check on this 10 to 20 prompts, because it's still subjective, that's true. But we now have the luxury to really deep dive into data and see for ourselves what this subjective, like trust and credibility and accuracy and that type of angles, what they look like in a summarized answer, and really see for ourselves what our brand looks like. You can always ask, obviously, as a second round or as a first round, you can always ask an LLM how this.
What do you think of my brand?
What do you think? Yeah. What do you think, or how did you decide to build that answer? For example, skip my accreditation certificate, or skip that this and this very credible person is leading my so-and-so product team, right? You can always ask that to get an additional perspective, but still doing it on your own. Maybe, actually what you say makes a lot of sense. You can make a mix of both. I just wouldn't replace the manual check.
No.
At least.
No, the manual check seems to anchor things more into the current reality, at least, until they update the models. But it gives more real-time data because they change too quickly for the time being as well.
And also, as a seventh and last lens in this 7-lens framework, I would say this is brand safety. Mm-hmm. This is something that many brands keep talking about, that increase in importance. The impact of ChatGPT and engaging different users from different age groups makes precautions around safety really important.
Right.
So you need to make sure that your brand is presented as safe and
responsible,
responsible,
legally responsible. Yeah, that's the age curve in it seems in the chat models is much younger compared to the traditional search. Like the adoption so far, at least, is among people under 35. So
that's a very good point. Most of this, like, obviously makes sense, but as you say, AI search, Google, AI overviews, and AI mode for sure too, are very young. It's like, I don't know, Google circa 2002, 3, up to 6.
Yeah.
It's easy to get in relatively with shady tactics.
Yeah.
It's easy to get misrepresented
Definitely.
based on old, I don't know, some old data from 10 years ago, or from the only negative review someone left about your brand like 5 years ago or 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. So you definitely, when running AI search audits, you definitely need to go outside, expand outside the technical content and outreach components that we are used to. We are used to the fact that Google invested a lot of resources to safeguard this for us.
Yeah.
But in AI search, it's not like that. You will need to deep dive manually or through conversation with LLMs and understand how exactly is your brand presented, understood, how it's interacted with, are you visible, with what exactly information. Okay, so that was the 7 lenses. Like, you can always remove a couple if this is not the brand that you represent, or you can add some more. But I think that these are the steps that you need to add to a proper AI search audit to make sure that you're not just visible or invisible. It's not binary, but also how you are presented.
Yeah, and it seems to give you very anchored perspective across the spectrum of AI search, because it's very granular, very modular. It's not deterministic as is Google search results.
Yep.
Every question generates different answers, even if one word is changed or the person who is writing is different because they have historic data. So this 7 steps approach seems to present a nice grounding, nice cover, and very good starting point for a proper AI audit.
Yep, we'll keep collecting data and see what else what else comes up as patterns that are important in this very new and exciting field.